Hello everyone, welcome back to botany class. And in this video, we are going to continue principles of inheritance and variation, right? Before getting into the topic, we will see what are the content we are going to discuss in this video. So we are going to learn about backcross, and then we are going to learn about test cross, and then we are going to study about inheritance of two genes. For this study of inheritance of two genes, John Gregor Mendel, he conducted one hybridization experiment. The hybridization experiment is called dihybrid cross. So only this content we are going to discuss in this video, right? First one, backcross. So backcross is nothing but it's a hybridization. It's a type of hybridization experiment. A cross between F1 hybrid, and one of its parents is known as backcross. Just I think previous video we discussed about monohybrid cross conducted by John Gregor Mendel using Pisum sativa. So in that we discussed inheritance of one gene at a time. So just we are taking only one contrasting character. So in that we did hybridization. So the first progeny we got it only. So the hybrid, nothing but heterozygous hybrid we got. The backcross meaning is just we are making cross between the F1 hybrid with any one of its parents, either with the homozygous dominant parent or homozygous recessive parent. And in this backcross method, the hybrid and the progenies in subsequent generation are repeatedly backcrossed to one of the parents of the F1. So this type of cross you can call it as backcross. Why we are doing backcross now? To know the genotype of the hybrid produced by the hybridization experiment, so that we are performing this backcross, right? So next one is test cross. Test cross is nothing but cross of F1 hybrid with its recessive parent. The backcross, you see, backcross is different from the test cross. So backcross is crossing F1 hybrid with any one of the parent, either the dominant parent or recessive parent, we are calling as backcross. But here, the crossing of F1 hybrid with its recessive parent, you can call it as test cross. Actually, this test cross also conducted by only John Gregor Mendel only. Why he conducted now? To know the exact genotype of this F1 hybrid, he conducted this particular test cross. Okay, see. So in monohybrid cross, what we studied here, we are taken tall plant and one dwarf plant. So these plants are subjected to cross pollination, so that we got F1 generation. So in F1 generation, all plants are tall, but we are not knowing about what is the genotype. Okay, so here they have written as a capsty because this parent it's a pure line or it's a pure breeding variety. That's why I know the genotype of this particular parent, and this parent also it's a pure breeding variety. So that I written the genotype as a small t. When we are making cross of these two particular parents, we are getting progeny, but a progeny looking like tall. So phenotypically it is expressed, but we are not sure the genotype of the particular F1 hybrid. But here I written caps T small t, but we are not sure because we are collecting seed from that cross and we are sowing into the soil, but all plants are growing tall. But we are not sure the tall plant is whether encoded by caps T or caps T small t. To know the genotype, this one, whether it is a heterozygous or homozygous, so for that we are conducting another one hybridization experiment. That cross name is called test cross. So the crossing of F1 hybrid with its recessive parent, you can call it as test cross. What is the purpose of test cross? It is used to find out the unknown genotype of F1 hybrid. Not only F1, even whatever in F2, F3, whatever hybrids are produced, to find out the hybrid genotype, we are performing this test cross, right? You see here, so test cross here, as I already told, Mendel conducted test cross to determine the phenotype of F1 and F2 generation, right? You assume here. So the flower color in F1 generation is, it's giving violet. So the violet color is, it is a dominant character. When the violet color is expressed in both homozygous dominant condition and heterozygous condition, the violet color is expressed. But we are not sure the genotype is either the caps W or caps W small w. So we have to know it, whether it is caps W happers W homozygous dominant or heterozygous dominant, so that we are performing test cross, so that we are taking this F1 generation, this F1 hybrid plant, so this F1 hybrid, and we are crossing with the homozygous recessive parent. So here recessive color of the flower color is white. So that first I'm assuming that it may be caps W. Then you can perform here. So the you can see here the white color flower is small w. I'm making cross. This one produces only one kind of gamete, caps W and caps W. And this one produces only one kind of gamete, small w, and making cross. So whatever progeny produced here is, if you are assuming that this one is a homozygous dominant, then all progenies of the yellow gives violet color. Here I am assuming that this genotype of this particular flower color is caps W small w, and I am crossing with homozygous recessive parent, small w. See here, so this flower produces only one type of gamete, caps W. But here small w. If you make cross, you will get like this: caps W, caps W and small w, small caps W, small w, sorry, small w. This one is small w. It produces two kinds of gametes. So we will get 50% of flowers are look like violet and 50% flowers are white. If you are getting this, suppose if it is all flowers are violet, then you can say the genotype definitely it is a homozygous dominant. Here we are getting only half of the flowers only test cross we are getting violet, and half of the flowers only they are white color. So definitely when we'll get 50% violet, 50% off if F1 hybrids are, the genotypes are, if it is heterozygous only we will get. So like this, for knowing the genotype of the F1 hybrid, we are performing this test cross. Okay, so be sure the test cross is nothing but crossing of F1 hybrid with its recessive parent. Why we are performing this test cross now? It is used to find out the genotype of F1 hybrid or hybrids in genetic cross or genetic experiment, right? That is the purpose of this test cross, right? So a very important slide here. The Mendel proposed, so based on his experiment, Mendel proposed something stably being passed to next from parents to next generation through gametes. And he called that what it's transferring, that he called as a factors. But now we are calling that factor as a gene. But Mendel he called as a factors. So genes factors are nothing but it's a unit of inheritance. So the basic factor and the unit of ingredients are genes or factor that contain information required to express particular trait. Trait nothing but the contrasting character, right? So genes which code for pair of contrasting trait, you can call it as allele. So like height gene is there. If some individual expressing tallness, some individual expressing darkness, so that the gene in different individual with expressing contrasting trait, that's why that gene pair we are calling as allele. So the for what alphabets we are using now, for tall you can use it caps T, dwarf we got to use it small t. So you see the pair of allele for height is tall is caps T, the caps T small t, and dwarf is small t, right? And Mendel proposed the true breeding tall dwarf plant. So they are definitely, they are identical, they are having homozygous allele pair like caps T, small t. If it is caps T small t, definitely the condition is heterozygous. It's not pure breeding or true breeding, right? So the descriptive term for tall and dwarf is, we are saying, the caps T, small t, we are saying that is a genotype, and a tall and physical expression, you can say it's a phenotype. And Mendel found that phenotype of heterozygate, the caps T small t of F1 was same as parent with caps T and proposed. So here, based on that, so based on the experiment, he called the dominant and another one called as a recessive one, right? So next one is inheritance of two gene. So Mendel previously he studied only inheritance of one gene at a time. Now he want to know inheritance of two gene at a time. For that purpose, he conducted another one hybridization experiment. The hybridization experiment name is called dihybrid cross. Okay, dihybrid cross. It is a cross between two parents differing in two pair of contrasting character. Monohybrid, only the parents which are differing in only one pair of contrasting characters. But here the parents we are selecting parents, we are making them, we are crossing it. So when we are into the crossing, that parents are differing in two pairs of contrasting character only, we are crossing, right? So Mendel made some dihybrid cross in pea plants, but selecting like character like seed safe. He selected round shaped sheet with yellow color seeds. So round shaped and yellow color seeds. He crossed with wrinkled shaped and green color sheet. Okay, here you can see in this cross he selected two pair of contrasting character. One is round shape, seed shape, round and wrinkled. Second one is seed color. So one is a yellow color, another one is a green color. Okay, see how that's looking. This seed is round, exactly round, and color looking like yellow. Color of the seed is. But this seed is somewhat wrinkled. It's not exactly round, but color is green color. By selecting two pair of contrasting character, he did hybridization. That hybridization you can call it as dihybrid cross. Why he did dihybrid? To study the inheritance of two gene, he did this particular experiment, right? And we will see the dihybrid experiment procedure. This is a parent one. Here the parent one produces seeds which are round shape and yellow color. Okay, the genotype of the seeds are caps R, caps Y. And another parent produces seeds which are wrinkled and green color. So the genotype is small r, small y, and small y, right? So these parent produces only one kind of gamete. The gamete on the like RY gamete, right? But this parent produces small r, small y. We are making cross. It's a cross hybridization or cross pollination, so that it produces F1 progeny. F1 progeny, how it look? It's a heterozygous for both character. Caps are small r, small y, sorry, caps y, small y. so that the F1 progeny produces seeds which are look like round shape and yellow color. And then when we are performing selfing among this F1 hybrid, like you see, I'm taking one F1 hybrid and I'm selfing the another F1 hybrid. And this F1 hybrid produces 4 type of gametes. Okay, put a combination like caps or caps Y, caps or small y, small r caps Y, small r small y. So the same only here also it produces, right? And we will see the combination of the F2 generation genotype, we will see how it look, right? So you see, I'm taking one parent in this row and another parent here. Here we are taking male, here we are taking female. So female parent produces these 4 types of gamete. Male also produces 4 types. We put cross like caps R. So small y, sorry, caps Y, these 2. Next, these 2, caps R, small caps Y, small y. And next we can see here caps R, small y, small y. Next caps R, small r, caps Y, small y, right? Like this you can put next round caps R, caps Y, small y. Caps R, small y and small y. Here you can see caps R, small r, caps Y, small y. Caps R, small y. Like they can put. So we will get totally 16 progeny we will get. Okay, totally because 4 gametes. Here also 4 gametes will get totally 16 progeny. So caps R. Here all are it's a dominant. So the caps R, round shape, yellow color. These also one is a homozygous, another one is heterozygous, round yellow. Here also one is heterozygous, one is homozygous, round yellow. This also round yellow. This also round yellow. This one is round green. But both are homozygous. One is homozygous dominant, another one is homozygous recessive. And here also round yellow and a round green and a round yellow. So wrinkled yellow. So here the shape is smaller and the color is caps Y. These also wrinkled yellow. And here round yellow, round green, wrinkled yellow and wrinkled green. Okay, you see here parental types are pure breeding varieties, only these 2, first one and the last one. Remaining are non-parental type. So non-parental type, okay, because they are having either heterozygous genes for at least one character, right? This is a dihybrid cross. So we got totally 16 progenies, right? So in F2 generation, so what is a phenotype, what is a genotype ratio? And observing F2 generation, Mendel found that the yellow-green color segregation ratio is, so yellow-green color segregation ratio is 3:1. Similarly, round and wrinkled seed shapes also generated 3:1. It's nothing but if you are taking one character, give, so only monohybrid cross result only, yellow-green. Okay, see here, how many yellows are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 9, 10, 11, 12. How many greens are there? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that its ratio coming 12:4. So it coming 3:1. Similarly, round and wrinkled also. Round also 12. Wrinkled is only 4 here. So that for segregation, Mendel he found that the segregation of round and wrinkled and yellow greens are only 3:1 ratio. And overall, the phenotypic ratio in dihybrid cross is, see, round yellow, how many we got? 9. Round green is 3. Wrinkled yellow is 3. Wrinkled green is 3. So the dihybrid cross, the F2 generation phenotypic ratio is 9:3:3:1, right? So it's a combination of 3 yellow and 1 green with 3 round and 1 wrinkled. So that 3 for one character, if you take 3:1, both characters together we are getting 9:3:1. You can calculate like this: 3:1 into 3:1 will get 9:3:3:1, right? And dihybrid genotypic ratio is, so it's easy to remember, 1:2:1, 2:4:2, 1:2:1. You see, RR, caps R small, caps Y is only one we got. So in this table you can look, only one is caps R and caps Y. And small r, small y, small y also only one, right? And caps R, caps Y, small y is 2. Caps R, small r, caps y is 2. Caps R, small r, caps y, small y is 4. Caps R, small y, small y is 1. Caps R, small y, small y is 2. Small r, caps y is 1. Caps R, caps y, sorry, small r, caps y, small y is 2. Small r, small y, small y is 1. So the genotypic ratio, totally we are getting 16 progeny. So the genotypic ratio of F2 hybrid is 1:2:1, 2:4:2, 1:2:1, right? And a very important slide I have given here. This is a formula chart. For coming videos, we are going to discuss some genetic problem. Further, this formula is very important. For any hybridization experiment, to calculate the type of gametes, what formula we are using? Now 2 power n. N is nothing but number of trods or hybrid. Number of trod we are using only one. How many gamete will get? Only one type of gamete. Sorry, only two types of trods we will get. Number of hybrids. Sorry, gametes. Suppose we are using trods 2 power n, we will get, it produces 4 type of gametes, right? 4 type of gamete. So like we studied in a monohybrid, in F1 generation, it's a caps T small t. It produces 2 types of gametes. One is caps T, gamete with caps T. Another one is gametes with small t. But to take example dihybrid class, how many character traits are involved? 2 characters. So that 2 power n. So that we will get how many gamete we will get? 2 into 2, 4 we will get. Okay, see here. Here we got, so totally 4 type of gamete. If it is only one, we will get only 2 types of gametes only we will get. This is a formula to calculate the number of gamete is 2 power n, right? And next, number of zygote offspring is gametes power n. Gametes power n. So here n is nothing but again number of trod or hybrid, right? For example, if you are getting 4 gametes, 4 into 2. In a monohybrid, we got only 2 gametes. Number of trods characters are only 1. So 2 power 1 is, we will get only 2 types of zygote. But dihybrid, we got 4 gamete, 4 power n, 2 character. So that 4 into 2, how much we will get? So totally 16 progeny we got, right? So next one is the number of phenotype. So it's here is the, to calculate the number of phenotype, the 2 power n. So monohybrid, you can see how many phenotype we got? Only 2. Either progenies are tall or dwarf. Only 2 types. But in dihybrid, we got 4 type of phenotype. So 2 power n. So one is round yellow, second one is round green, third one is wrinkled yellow, fourth one is wrinkled green. So we got 4 phenotype. Number of genotype, for calculating number of genotype, you can use the formula 3 power n. So these are very important formula, 3 power n, right? Number of genotype for multiple allelism. If the character expressed by more than one contrasting pair, then you can use this formula n by 2 into n plus 1. Here n is nothing but number of alleles. Here up to this we studied n is nothing but number of trod or hybrid. But here n meaning is the number of alleles. So suppose one character is expressed by 3 allele, then you can say, so n is 3. So n by 2 into n plus 1. And to calculate the recombination frequency, a crossover value. So what is the formula we are using now? Number of recombinants divided by total number of offspring into 100, right? To take example monohybrid, the how much recombinant we got it? So it's a non-parental combination. So non-parental, actually dihybrid we got, monohybrid there is no non-parental, but dihybrid we got non-parental. So dihybrid, the 4 type of phenotype we observed: round yellow, round green, and wrinkled yellow, wrinkled green. So except this round yellow, wrinkled green, so this round green and wrinkled yellow both are non-parental. So for calculating that and all, you can say it recombination. To calculate the recombination percentage or frequency, what formula we are using now? Number of recombinant divided by total number of offspring into 100. Okay, this is the formula you have to use. And next very important one, summarize account of Mendel experiment. Similarly, Mendel conducted many experiments by using 1 character, 2 character, 3 character. If you use 1 character, you can call it as monohybrid, 2 dihybrid, 3 trihybrid, 4 tetrahybrid, like that. Okay, here we are seeing some important. So in monohybrid class, so the type of gametes are 2 power n, no, I told it's a 2, only 2 gametes only. And dihybrid 2 power 2, 4 gametes will get. Trihybrid 2 power 3, 8 gametes will get, right? Here the formula we studied, no. So 2 power n type of gamete. Number of zygote offspring is here 2 power 2. In monohybrid we got only 4 progeny, but dihybrid we got 16. But if you go trihybrid will get 64, right? Number of phenotype, here we got monohybrid only 2, tall, Darfalon. Here we got 4, round yellow, round green, wrinkled yellow, wrinkled green. Similarly, trihybrid will get 8 type of phenotypes. So number of genotype for a monohybrid is 3. So number of genotypes, right? Caps T 1 genotype, caps T small t 1 genotype, small t small t. But here not like that. Totally we got 9 types. We studied genotype ratio, no? 1:2:1:1:2:4:2:1:1. Totally 9 we got. Similarly, trihybrid class will get 27. Phenotype ratio is 3:1. Here 3:1 power 2, because 2 no, so 9:3:3:1. Here 3:1 power 3. So genotypic ratio is 1:2:1. Here 1:2:1, 2:4:2, 1:2:1 we will get, right? So just 1:2:1 power 2 you have to put square 2. Here is 1:2:1 power 3 we have to put. Okay. So this is a very important finding. So this finding who got through Mendel, he got through his hybridization experiment. Okay, be thorough in this particular area. Okay. So up to this, I'll end up this video, and thank you for listening class, and we will see in next video. Thank you.